Okay guys, that time has arrived. It's the return of the mighty Swede, Andgus. And this time he's going to show us how to ace the Scorpion G, one of the latest Tier 8 premium tanks that Wargaming has introduced, and probably one of the most broken ones. As you can see, Andgus runs chocolate in his Scorpion. I'm not that confident, I'm afraid. 17 AP, 10 APCR and 3 HE shells. Tier 8s as far as the eye can see, barring a couple of very unlucky Tier 7s. Even the scouts are Tier 8, there's no Tier 9s, most unusual. So initially Andgus pushes off heading towards the mid, it seems. He's got a T49 KV2 Sport next to him. Pushing up towards the middle. He has a camo net, but I don't see binoculars or anything like that. If I remember correctly, I think he said he runs a rammer and a lane drive, or optics, I can't remember exactly. But he does have huge view range on this tank, as you can see, right up to the max 445. Clearly running an extremely skilled crew. Pops up, uses the reasonable gun depression on this tank to see if you can get early spots. Does unfortunately get spotted. And in this tank, if you get spotted, you normally get squashed. But he's not yet been squashed. T49, our T44-100 gets a shot into the FCM there at the back. Pops up again, gets spotted again for his trouble. T29 is taking a very close interest in Angus's well-being. It's okay, he's fine, we don't need you looking. He spots the RU in the CDC, pushing for the hill, so he turns, he aims. Yeah, you don't need those hit points, Mr. CDC. You can, it's okay. We can make better use of them. Spotted again, trying to get shots here. Snaps a shot over there, looking for a connecting shot on the RU of some description in the blind bush. We'll have to see after the game whether he pens or not with that one. Shoots away the cover. We've got an IS-3 in a, I want to say an interesting position, but it's a position nonetheless. The T29's giving us the side of his turret there. Andgus pops up. As you can see, the Scorpion G does have pretty good gun depression. Takes a hit though there from the T29, and in this tank, anything that hits you with anything more than the penetration of a gnat's fart is going to go through. T49 decides that he's going to write the team off straight away and call them Diables. T44-100 agrees. Well, you know, if you think the same, you're clearly part of the problem, mate. Shot in towards the Wizzy. Looks like he bounces though. He's keeping his eyes on the T34-2 behind him. The guys on the hill are, well, they're not doing much, shall we say. The IS-3A appears to have, well, yeah, the T49 has pretty much summed it up. Retarded, camper, loser. Yeah. And the scout dying, it was one of the first tanks, is clearly a really useful feature. The turret's very slow on the Scorpion, as you can see, so he's got to wait for the gun to swing around. Looking for a shot here on the T29, but he gets spotted and punished by the guys camping on the hill. TVP there. Partially aimed shot, flies perfectly true though, straight into the TVP. Andgus is playing with fire here, he's got 50 hit points left. Another shot in, but unfortunately no idea if we connect or not. We are pretty much out of hit points here at this point, so Andgus decides discretion's the better part of valour. If I can keep the gun in the game, let's keep the gun in the game, let's get out of here. So he falls back from his very nice position in the middle. T29's popped up, but hopefully there's enough cover between Andgus and the T29. Doesn't seem to get spotted, so that's good news. His commander is still intact, so that's always good. Bit of off-road bouncing and driving there. What you see Andgus doing here is something you should consider more often. He's using, well, this is how I read it. He's using the limit of his view range as a point to where he will no longer be spotted if they pop the hill. He's more than 445 metres away from the centre of from the middle ridge in the map. He can push quite nicely, without issue, right across this side of the map and join the rest of the team in the corner, where there appears to be quite a nice cookout going on. Stops looking for shots across the middle. Camo net comes down, and now we chill, we relax, we wait for targets. Unfortunately, the team is not exactly what you call helpful. Little bit of movement from Andgus there, hopefully looking for a shot on that Panther too, but thanks to the huge cookout we have going on in the corner here, that's not required, as someone was able to pick up a shotgun and just fire quickly on the move. And now we wait. No, JP, we wait. Our Tiger 2 there is saying to people to be careful. He's the furthest one back from everybody. Clearly, he's an experienced scout. Andgus is looking over there towards where that T29 was last spotted. If any of the trees or bushes or anything go down, they are within his render range and he will see it happen. So he should be able to just pull the trigger and hit the target blind. Would be hopeful. However, what we do spot though is a Scorpion G pushing mid fast. Beautifully led shot connects. And the Scorpion G probably regrets making that move. No doubt there's similar conversation on his team as well about camper noobs and why aren't you pushing with me. So we sat chilling in the corner. I would probably like to have a nice hot dog at this point, or a cup of coffee. Seems right. Still looking towards where that T29 was last spotted. You're kind of hopeful that your team could theoretically spot it, but in all honesty, you've got an IS-3 trying to scout. I think things are desperate enough. However, miracles do happen. There's a T29. Come on, Gum, behave yourself. We don't have much of a shot on this T29, unfortunately, though. Pulls forward just to readjust his render range. Just looking to get enough render range to be able to spot that little pop-up area there. We have lost an IS-3, so our IS-3 scout tanks are slowly falling on the opposite side. Where's another IS-3 gone? The fact that the IS-3 has been shot by the T-29 indicates to me that that T-29 has popped that ridge again, but unfortunately we can't see that ridge. Nobody is scouting it, nobody is looking. We have a perfectly serviceable STA-1 who could do a reasonable scout job, in my opinion, but he's content with just being parked in his little bush because my tank isn't strong enough. So the team's become very stagnant again. We've got a very brave IS-2 who's pushing onto the other side, taking on the RU-251. Andgus decides he wants to relocate to see if he can get eyes down this road. There's a little bit of movement, and the STA-1 has finally realised that his W key is in fact not broken but working. The 112's relocated all the way round the map and got up on the hill. That's how long this team has been entrenched here. Spots the T-29, waits for the aim, but unfortunately T-29 clearly has sixth sense and has pressed his W key. It's amazing what that does when you get spotted. It means you fall back, you get safe. Apparently not many people know that. T-34-2 has relocated to the D1 location, so Andgus is backing up to try and get him into render range. Our IS-2 goes down swinging. T-34-2 disappears. And once again, it's hands to camping stations. Our JP-2 has bravely driven all the way over there and bravely driven all the way back. T-34-2 is pushing forward but comes to a shuddering halt and falls back. The T29 finally pops up again. Angus waits patiently for this guy to pop up, looking for the slimmest of shot. We've got it. RNG giveth, RNG striketh again. Wait for the reload on this cheeky RU. Shot out. Two very slim shots that I wouldn't have risked myself. However, Angus is a far better player than me, and he was able to get them off. His spotting range should mean he should be able to spot the 112 safely without being spotted. So he pre-aims on the corner, looking for any signs of movement or jostling around the Tiger 88, and waiting for the 112 to decide it's safe to push forward. There is still a TVP that could be anywhere over on that other side. Not to mention a Mutz that's not been spotted all game. So yeah, our STA1 is trying to push forward, but thankfully, well, unfortunately, has no support, so is doing so in such a way that he's probably not going to last the game much longer. Oh dear. And again, he resorts to the most basic of insults by saying, "Team, you're all idiots, help me." Oh dude, you went forward, not us. T-34-2. We've got the side of the T-29's turret. Angus snaps the shot off, partially aimed, and unfortunately this time there was no help. Our Jag-88 is content to call everyone camper idiots. I'd just like to draw your attention to the fact that that Jag-88 drove into J7 and didn't move for most of the game. Yes, indeed. Angus is there, just casual wobble of the mouse, just seeing if you can get any sort of spot. The Mutz has been spotted. Beautiful shot there. The Mutz has now lost virtually all his hit points. Tiger 2 has actually done a surprise. The Scout Tiger 2 was surprisingly effective. Angus is looking for a shot on the FCM under the building. Nothing there. Swinging back, looking for a shot for this T29 or the 112. Waits for the gun to turn around. Unfortunately, our Scout Tiger 2 has finally succumbed. That leaves Angus as the lone spotter on this side. The J Panther 2 is heading in the wrong direction. That leaves Angus facing off against the 112 on his own. Looking for the cheeky shot here underneath the railway tracks. FCM stops. Angus sends it. Lovely shot, connects beautifully underneath the railway car into the side of the FCM 50 ton. Spot a tree going down, so he sends another blind shot after it. Could be the FCM hightailing out. We'll have to see at the end of the game what he actually connected with there. 112 has grown a set of bollocks. Angus has pulled back to use the bush as cover. 1 minute 59 left on the clock here. You're going to really need some mosey. Keeps pulling backward and forward just to keep eyes on this 112. Shut down the 112 there. Great use of bushwork there, by the way, from Angus to spot and then unspot. Nice shot into the IS-3. Tracks it in position as well. The IS-3 is outside of render range, so he's fully safe that he can keep this thing. He's burning through his APCR shells here because he wants to guarantee this damage, and hopefully we can get the win. 34-2 has pushed forward onto the JP2, but the JP2 shuts him down, and then the lucky shot, I think, in my opinion, there to kill the TVP. FCM clearly forgotten what his WAS and D keys do, but somehow manages to bounce a shell from this big 128mm gun. Three tanks left, 2 tanks left on the opposition, 50 seconds on the clock. Can we get the win out of this game? One beautiful thing about the Scorpion is it's a very quick tank. Our KB4 has finally pulled his trigger and got a kill. He's on 2 kills actually, surprisingly, and he's bullying the IS-3. 30 seconds on the clock. And there we go, finally the team finds a way of winning the game with 25 seconds left. Oof, you left that close, guys. Anyway, post-game results time. Let's see how much damage Andgus did. Okay guys, here's Angus's result. As we can see, Mastery Badge, no surprise there. Bruiser, Fighter, Fire for Effect. 127,944 credits with 6,640 XP. Was on a ×3 weekend as well, so I suppose that kind of explains the unique nature of his team. He got high caliber there. As you can see by the team score, 1,428 base XP with 5,502 damage. Really had to work hard to drag this bitch of a team to a victory. You know, some guys did so little damage. T49 could have had a great game, but he threw it away and wrote the team off within the first couple of minutes of the game. You know, you've got to give your hat off to this T29 on the opposition there. 3,385 damage in a tier 7 in a tier 8 game, and it was a very, very tier 8 game. Disappointing. This team just did not want to win. This team wanted to win. This team didn't want to win. If Andgus hadn't been driving his Scorpion, this team, I would say, would have definitely drawn. They wouldn't have won. They would have drawn, I think. They would have played very, very cagey. As you can see on the detail results, he fired 23 shots, of which 15 hit and 13 penetrated. In Angus's own words, I wasn't happy with my shooting on this one. But it's an ace tanker. 63,000 credits profit is nothing to be sniffed at all. So yeah, that's how to ace the Scorpion G by Andgus. Carry a team to victory. Anyway, thanks very much, guys. As usual, link to Angus's Twitch channel will be below. If you have any questions, he does pop by occasionally to have a look at these. So feel free to ask any questions, and I'm sure he'll be more than happy to answer. Thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you soon.